Farming life in another world. Hiraku gets up early after having a death nightmare, then he walks outside and meets everyone while saying that he never imagined himself living such a wonderful life. Hiraku meets God as a soul. God reports that he lived for 39 years, but his fate was harsh since others misled him and later he got a fatal disease that killed him. God grants him a second life with a healthy body that will never fall ill, as God realizes that he was responsible for Hiraku's miserable life, and he wants to make apologies. In this case, he also offers to fulfill every wish Hiraku may have. Hiraku says, after giving it some thought, that he wants to pursue farming in his second life. While he was unwell, he watched a show on it. That's why he is eager to give it a try. Furthermore, he struggles with social interaction and wishes to start a farm in a remote area with few people. Farming is above the god's authority, but he still makes a call and sets everything in order. He obtains approval from the agricultural god so that he may grant Hiraku access to the strength of the powerful farming equipment. Hiraku feels happy to be well and to be free to wander everywhere once again. Later, when he awakens in a forest, he decides to begin farming there and thinks about how to utilize the all-powerful equipment. Hiraku notices that he is not getting tired at all as the tool appears magically in his hand and he begins digging. He comments on the softness of the soil and the fact that there he can grow great fruits and vegetables. As soon as Hiraku comes to this realization, he starts hunting for food and drink in the forest. He decides to construct a landmark of a large tree and set up a camp there after spotting it. He searches around for a river but comes up empty-handed. He then decides to dig for water near his camp. As soon as he starts digging, his tool, which he had summoned, transforms into a shovel, and he finally finds water. After that, he searches for food as he works to prepare the area around the tree, but he is unsuccessful. Following that, Hiraku plans to cut down a smaller tree that will soon get in his way. Invoking his axe, he manages to slash the tree in one swing, just avoiding being crushed by the tree as he does so. Then, he chops the tree into pieces after transforming his instrument into a blade. When he feels that it's getting dark, he converts his blade into a magnifying glass, but the sun has already set. He cuts a hole into the big tree and hides inside because he has no way of setting up a fire. He cuts some wood and makes cups and plates. He realizes that the moon gives him enough light to see, but when he notices that there are two moons, he assumes that he must be on another planet. Hiraku proceeds to chop more trees and clear the area surrounding the big tree in the morning. He thinks it is time to eat, and just then, a huge monster rabbit confronts him. Hiraku uses the instrument to kill it in a single swift action and eats it as food. After that, he digs a hole with an entrance, a gas discharge hole, and a tree trunk to use it as a toilet. He eventually builds a little cottage around the toilet seat, since he was unable to chill out. Then, Hiraku continues cultivating the ground while thinking about what he could farm. When he is finished, he realizes that he is out of seeds to plant anything. The following morning, he is amazed to notice some plants that have already begun to emerge and wonders if it is because of the instrument. To keep the fields safe from rabbits and other animals, he plans to construct a wall and a ditch around them. It takes several days to finish it, but he can slaughter another rabbit. The plants are growing more quickly, and Hiraku is hoping that they will not just turn out to be pretty flowers, but also something he can eat. To give himself additional vertical space, Hiraku digs within the hut he has just constructed because he finds it difficult to move the wood up. One day, he finds a pair of dogs outside. He is unsure what to do with all that meat because they appear a little harsh but not violent. One of them is pregnant, and after they ate, she began experiencing labor pains, as he notes. When Hiraku discovers she is pregnant, he is unsure what to do. He ultimately decides to let them stay in his home while returning to his tree hole for the night. The next morning, he checks on the dogs and learns that the female has given birth to 4 puppies. To celebrate, he feeds them with some more meat. After that, Hiraku thought the dogs would go away, yet they stayed. Hiraku decides to construct a new home for himself because they like the hut. In the end, Hiraku grows tomatoes and eats them, the dog hunt occasionally, and keep Hiraku safe on the property. He chooses to give them the male and female names Kuro and Yuki. He gave the names Kuroichi, Kuroni, Kurosan, and Kuryon to the small ones. Hiraku plans to construct a storehouse, grow additional veggies, and do much more. Then the scene shifts as we see a man warning a girl who wants to cross the mountain that it is deadly and asks her if she has heard of the forest of death because the other side is the home of many monsters.